Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Pantheon project. We'd like to welcome back me, Dashivah, Nightangel, Liette, and we have a newcomer to our Pantheon project cast, Waffle, also known as Pancake.
Not a pancake.
And so we're going to just talk about the latest news and for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, the Kickstarter by Brad McQuaid. And so first off, we'll just get right to the first topic about the Q&A 6 and topics about revenue model. And so Nightangel, what were they talking about with the revenue model? What are their plans they have going? Oh, sorry, Night, you're a little muted.
Probably because of that. It was a little interesting, actually. The first few levels will be free completely with no handicaps. So that was kind of interesting to hear, especially since it's going to be a sub-based game of likely around $15 a month. So to hear that they're doing free levels for the first, 10 maybe or so, that was kind of interesting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's a good idea given the market that we're in?
I think it's a good idea, or at least some sort of free entry into a game, because I think the problem with a lot of subscription models is no one could even touch the game or see what it's like to get into it. And so if you don't have the free model, people aren't going to download your game or even try it or even think about it. But if they say, hey, it's free, it's almost like free advertising, if your game's good, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
I completely agree. It gives the player an opportunity to get their feet wet, to get a feel of what the game's going to be like before they even commit to a subscription base.
Yeah. And so I understand why they're going subscription, but at least they have that free-to-play aspect of it for at least the first few levels so that people can get in and see it.
Absolutely.
So that'd be good. And
gives you a chance to get addicted early.
Yeah. It's like, buy me now.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of the same subscription model that World of Warcraft has right now. Like, first 20 levels, you can just jump in or whatever, and then as soon as if they capture you on those 20 levels, then all of a sudden you subscribe, and then that's it. Or you have to buy the game, right?
Yeah, you'll have to buy it. But see, that's the question. So they're going to have it free to download for the first few levels, and then they're going to hit that wall, and you're like, haha, buy the game. And sub.
Yeah, exactly. And so hopefully it's fun within those first few levels. That's the thing with that model, is it has to capture you enough in those first 10 levels or so, and then to make you want to subscribe. So you don't want to just give them the not so fun part and then hopefully they just subscribe to see the better stuff. But hopefully it's just like older games like EverQuest and Vanguard and stuff, where the fun part was the journey, right? And so you want to continue that journey. Yep. And so they said it's designed to appeal to all types of audiences of people. And so how is that? How is this subscription model designed for that?
I don't know. I don't know what he was going for with that Q&A part of it. I don't know if he was talking about the design of the game itself, being an MMO, being easygoing for any of and all types of audiences, or necessarily the revenue model. I think he's moved on.
Yeah. So because it's supposed to be a niche game, but then it's designed for all people.
All people, right?
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe people don't realize they like older style MMOs, but just haven't been able to try one because all of them are old. Mm-hmm. But we'll see. So right now, during the Kickstarter and even before it, everyone working on Pantheon right now is working for free, right?
Yep.
How do you guys feel like a devs team working for free right now? Does that encourage you, or?
That's belief in a vision. That really is.
It is.
Yeah, it's it can go two ways. Like for me, it feels like it's a bunch of people who actually believe in a game and have a great vision. They're willing to put forth their skills and their trades in that way for free, to get something done. That shows a lot, but it could also lead to laziness, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They need a timeline. And if they have a timeline to follow, it should be okay. There are a lot of other, games out there right now, especially that went through Kickstarter, that didn't have a timeline set up, and so they didn't do so well.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. But they got the money they needed, and they started adding to their team, and so. But a lot of the time, they started getting more money than they originally asked for, and so the game started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But it was the same timeline for the smaller game that they had designed, but then they had 3 times as much money, which means 3 times as much game, right? Hopefully. And so now their games are getting released a year, 2 years later, but it seemed like they allowed for a lot of time, because it's not till 2017 at the earliest for Pantheon. So there's they allowed a lot of time to build a good sized game that we're all looking forward to. But their goal is to have 20 to 25 people on the team. They didn't want too big of a team. They wanted a smaller team, so it's kind of just like this close-knit kind of group working together, and so nothing huge like other projects, or not other projects, but other dev teams that they've worked for before, like for EverQuest or for Vanguard, where they had hundreds of people all working on the same game. But next, they talked about the majority of the pledge rewards are in-game items. So what are the pledge rewards again? Remember?
Some they have them listed on the Kickstarter homepage.
The ones that you can add, right, to your pledge?
Right.
Yeah.
The additional add-ons that they added in one of the updates. Let's see if I can find it real quick. But they had a nice list. I'm not really sure if I would. I don't know how they're doing it, because I haven't actually added anything to a pledge, so I don't know if that's an additional thing that you do outside of the Kickstarter itself, or if that's something that you do in game after you've, as an add-on. So I'm not sure how that works really, but there are a great number of additions out there. So if you haven't already checked it out, go to the website and look at the updates for the pledge rewards.
Yeah. Did anyone here actually happen to add to their pledge with these in-game items? Like paid $10. It's pretty much a cash shop, right? Almost kind of that kind of feel. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to be like, please give us more money, because we'll give you a sparkle pony or something. Which I gave my $50, so I'll stick with that right now. I think my wife would put me in the ground if I gave more than that now.
Yeah. Well, to me, I kind of liked it, because if you had a lower tier pledge, but you wanted a certain item, but that wasn't available until the $100 or something pledge, you can now just buy that item and add that to your pledge, rather than having to spend an extra $50-$60 just to get that certain item that you wanted. If you wanted one specific, then you can add it, and it's a great way to just get that little bit extra money that they need for this game. And so whatever they need to do to help fund this game, I'm all for it.
It's a good idea.
Even if it is a sparkle pony.
I love my mounts.
Yes. But what is
I really like sparkle ponies.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people do, apparently, like World of Warcraft, right? Or even SWTOR. SWTOR came out with, they were just talking about their cash shops alone. SWTOR was like the third most highest grossing MMO when it came to items in that, and people were just buying sparkle. Have you ever seen the Christmas mount for SWTOR?
No.
Someone's buying it. The lawnmower with Christmas lights on it. It was.
Yeah.
But people buy it, right? And so if Pantheon's gonna do it too, right? Then
not exactly. That was part of a bundle, and I think I got 3 of them. Yeah.
You did it, right? So hey, throw them out there, and if people want to spend money,
fair enough.
It works.
I was going for the outfits. I mean,
you wanted the outfits, not the sparkling lawnmower.
Nope.
But a very important thing included with these, right, is they will have a cloth or paper rolled map. When's the last time you had a game with a cloth map?
Yeah.
Warhammer, maybe? I think it was.
Which one?
Maybe Warhammer. I got one from one game. I can't remember now, but I think it may have been
Dragon Age. maybe.
Maybe.
That wasn't an MMO.
Warhammer came with books and a model.
The art book. Yeah, that's right.
Was that just the collector's edition though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I got the collector's edition for EQ2, and that had a cloth map, and
Yeah.
it was so cool. I don't know what I'd use it for, but it was just that great feeling from like.
Put it on the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the continent that will be updated next year.
Look what I got.
Yeah, I got cloth.
Yep.
So,
I got a piece of cloth. It's awesome.
Yeah. Who likes cloth maps?
I don't know. You make it into a T-shirt or something.
Make it into all your cloth maps from the game.
I mean,
make it
you
into
could.
a T-shirt.
Make it a quilt.
MMO map quilt.
Figure something out for it.
You could sell that.
We can
All
go
right.
to Azure.
So our Q&A 7 topics now. We talked about, yes, there will be alternate rule set servers.
So
Oh my.
PvP
Yeah,
and
PvP
RV
server.
and role playing.
Roleplay and
Yep.
well, I don't know. Well, we have to hit the funding for PvP, the stretch goal for PvP,
Stretch
right?
goals. Yeah.
So maybe there'll be like hardcore rule set, and then maybe a roleplay rule set. And does any of that matter to any of us?
Well, I really, 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 really want the PvP server. So the PvPers will go there.
Oh
and
yeah,
the PvE
and not
server
on the PvC,
where I will
yeah.
play.
But all
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Y'all have fun over in your group. Kill
Yeah,
each other.
But this game is so focused on PvE, anyways.
PvP is always going to be there.
Yeah.
It's always going to be that option to
It
smack
is.
your friend in the face because it's funny.
You know what? You're right. I can't wait for EverQuest Landmark to have PvP. I'm like,
There's always going to be that option.
yeah.
Oh my.
Oh.
My wife made a presence.
Okay. Good. She has been known.
Boom.
So they had an exclusive to PC Gamer. Talked about the lava area. There will be more and more concept arts to come. So we had the lava area.
So everybody, I guess we'll see that in a PC Gamer magazine soon. Coming, you'll
If you
get
want
to
to
see
see
the
it,
concept art.
You have to buy PC Gamer, but lava
Oh.
area.
But there is a lava area confirmed.
Yes. Yeah. just like
Just like every other game
yeah,
known
there's
to
a
man.
lava area. I'm excited about the lava area. But now
Lava-
They may not have named it yet. Don't hate. At least there is a lava area.
It's just a place for me to fall into some hot
They
boiling
died to death, a miserable death. Yeah.
And think how fun that could be in PvP too, for the crazy PvPers. And what if somebody had like a bash and you just aimed it right? Yeah,
Oh.
you don't even have to do much work. Just slam them a couple times. Bye.
Leah,
Cut 'em off the
I
ledge.
think it's you that wants to play in the PvP server. Like every topic. Well, if you could PvP, you can.
No. I'm just pointing out the benefits of such an area, especially for our PvPing friends.
Okay, definitely. All right. So, update 35, class and race combos. I have the little sheet they put out, and then after this, they started talking about more. They started talking about the different stretch goal races and classes and everything. But here we have the little sheet for the just release classes and race combos and everything. So what do you guys think about humans? Normally can be everything, right? Ogres can only be like 3 things because they can only be shamans and clerics and dark knight.
something that smashes something.
Right.
Is there anything here missing that you guys wish?
I don't know.
I feel like the elf should be able to branch out in the Dark Knight area because
Yeah.
that's been a pretty
there has to be
common
some
occurrence.
evil.
Yeah, they can't just be all nice, you know. I see they've got the cleric, the enchanter, the crusader, and all that fun stuff. But come on, let's throw some evil into them. That always makes every class fun. That evil brother side, you know, everybody wants to see that.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that ogres couldn't be crusaders. I know they're not typically good per se, so they
Yeah.
wouldn't be paladin. But you know, that's your fighter
I don't know.
class.
When I think of like an ogre, though, I don't think of like. When you think of a crusader, you think of like maybe someone who's intelligent or something. And I don't know. I don't think of like a big old ogre. I don't think of Shrek being like,
muscular
I'm a crusader.
blob.
Doing
Yeah.
alpha. You don't see that.
But what's
No.
interesting here is, though, the only race right now that can be shaman is ogre.
It is very interesting.
Yes.
I mean, you got to kind of think what a shaman is, though. A shaman's a primitive race, and the ogre is still a primitive race. Shamans were like the witch doctors.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. That's why I feel that it matches very well.
Yeah, I felt like it matched too.
To have a shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It works.
I was surprised they didn't allow it for humans, though,
Yeah.
unless they're expecting every single bit of human society to be pretty well developed. Which I guess I could see. I'm also surprised they didn't let ogres be rogues. I realize they're big hulking masses of... but I'm guessing
They're all sneaking
there are going to
around.
be one or two that want to steal some stuff.
People
So,
be bumbling about trying to go
Yeah,
stealth.
but the way they steal stuff is they just smash things and say, "My."
Yeah.
well, they
Yeah.
might be horrible rogues, and that's
Be the high
okay. I'm
DPS.
The
fine
horrible-
with penalties.
Was that like another option on the alternate advancement? Horrible
Right.
rogue.
Yeah.
Well,
Pure
if they haven't
DPS.
added it, maybe make
Not so
horrible
sneaky.
lumbering ogre rogue. I
Not
mean,
so
hey,
sneaky rogue.
Yeah.
Just a rogue.
you know I'm coming every time rogue. I don't know.
Oh, whoa.
Well, no, I mean, how sneaky is an ogre gonna be? For real?
You're gonna see me.
Yeah.
That you can't miss me rogue? I don't know.
The I can't
Stealth
fit through
makes you hold
windows
up a
or
sign.
doors rogue.
You have to hold up a sign every time you try and go and stealth. I am here.
Yeah.
Kind of rogue.
Okay.
Nothing subtle about me, rogue. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
just thought.
Yeah, but I thought, I think a lot of the class race choices though they fit
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
like the Revenant. They can only be Dark Knight, Enchanter, Rogue, Wizard. That seems kind of like undead, right?
Mhm.
Humans could be almost everything. Dwarves, Cleric, Crusader, Rogue,
Mm-hmm.
typical dwarf. So typical kind of matching tier, right, to older MMOs that we've seen
Mm-hmm.
lately. So which one are you going to pick?
I'll be an elf. That's what I do.
An elf. What?
I don't. It's probably gonna be a wizard or maybe a cleric. Yeah. Just depends. I haven't figured out. I'm still debating on the enchanter, so we'll see.
Okay. The Enchanter seems so cool though. Like,
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna play a cleric, but Enchanter, like blowing people's minds up.
I know that's
So cool.
it has that whole buff debuff thing. That's again. It goes back to the old school styles of support instead of just
Yeah, I know.
DPS.
Like being that class that stands back and does the support or provides the mana buffs, or I miss that too.
Well, it's that whole crowd control benefit, which I sincerely miss in a lot of games, and that's something that I'd be really interested in. So, absolutely looking at the Enchanter. It's fun. I mean, there were so many fights back in the day that if you had an Enchanter, it was so much easier. Or really near impossible unless you had a lot of brute force to just get through something.
Yeah, especially for us healers, right? Like if you didn't have if you didn't have
That
breeze
buffer.
or clarity or whatever, and you were trying to
Yeah.
fight something, you'd run out of mana really fast and be like, oh, I wish I had a buff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and not even just for that. It's so much easier to heal the tank when, a good third of the mobs are being crowd
Yes.
controlled.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
They're not getting
Yeah.
beat on as much.
Yeah, so you might not even need that mana buff if you're not having to expend so much trying to keep the poor guy from keeling over
Enchanters, so useful.
in
Yes.
many ways.
Yes. So Waffle, have you decided yet, or what
I'm gonna
interests you most?
I'll probably go with the Revenant Dark Knight due to the fact that the Revenant being undead type, and Dark Knight being screaming, I'm
Dark.
evil, I'm gonna steal your soul because it's funny, and I'm gonna poke you with my stick repeatedly because it's funny again,
And it's dark.
and it's dark.
Yeah.
It's just dark.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm
what gets
Batman.
better than that? Yeah, you're the Batman Pantheon.
You are the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Exactly, you are the Batman Pantheon.
The most unfortunately named class ever.
Exactly. But I think that kind of follows into, back in my WoW days, I didn't. I waited for Death Knight. I just waited for it. When it finally released, I was a happy person.
Yes.
And you know,
And
I
you got to
just
start off at level 55. It was good.
oh, you have no idea how happy I was about that.
Yeah.
About to lose my mind if I had to level all over again. But I think the Revenant Dark Knight is the way I would go because that's my play style. That is the
Everything
exact
about it is just dark and evil.
yeah, that's the exact lore that I love the most. It's got to be dark, it's got to be evil, and I got to be able to poke people with sticks and not get in trouble for it.
You would
Very
totally
good.
bash people into lava. See, this is a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
Back to the
Exactly.
lava. Back to the lava.
I like to
Alright.
push people into hot objects.
Whoa! Don't push them into me now. Don't push them into me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna
you
take
need a
another
healer.
direction.
You need your
Okay.
healer.
Well, I'm a hot object. It's just
See
so
where we're going now.
okay. But
Just because I passed that road doesn't mean you need to go sprinting down it.
yeah,
Okay.
I went towards it. So I'm gonna be a dwarf cleric, and I always knew I was gonna be a dwarf cleric because I've always been a dwarf cleric in EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, not in Vanguard. For some reason, I played a druid in Vanguard.
Who doesn't love clerics?
Yep, and dwarf being all short, but then to be that battle cleric,
Yeah.
Oh,
dwarf. All right, so Pantheon already has their official wiki on Curse.
Yay.
Yay!
Linked for you in the chat. if
There it
you're here.
is. There it is. Now I see it. Yes.
Cool.
So they have their official wiki, so go look at it or add to it, but none of us are playing it, so I don't know what we're going to add to it. But we can look at it anyways and see. So, talking about this interview, they talked about questing. And we got an answer that I think we're all looking forward to. They want questing to be more like EverQuest 1 and then Final Fantasy 11. Two games I've both played. Has everybody played both of those games?
Just EQ1.
Waffle?
Yeah.
Neither of them.
Nope.
I
Oh,
played
blasphemer.
EQ1 for 10, and that was it. So I'm
okay.
with Waffle.
All right.
I've had people try to coax me into Final Fantasy 11. I could not do it due to playing. Actually, a lot of the Final Fantasy games on PlayStation back in my early years of console gaming before I figured out what a computer really was. Final Fantasy games are fun and all, but I never got into it on the PC. And like I said, EverQuest, it was so before my time of PC gaming that I didn't know what to do with it. I was already into WoW or RuneScape. We won't talk about that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 6 years. I just never. Those are two games I never played, but I know the basic premise of them. And
It's
what they've done for the gaming community today, how they've really shaped a lot of games.
Yeah, to me, Final
after-
Fantasy 11 was like EQ1 with Final Fantasy wrapped around it.
With giant walking chickens.
Yes. Yes. Yes, exactly.
Otherwise,
Thank you so much for calling them chickens. They're chickens.
They're chickens.
Yes.
Mutant
I got
chickens.
into a big argument over whether they're chickens or not. They're chickens.
They're chickens.
Yep.
All right, now that's settled.
Hey, Steel. Hey, we're casting right now. You're on the cast right now.
Really?
Hi, Steelheart. Oh, gosh.
Good job.
He misses everybody.
Yep. All right. I'll talk
Tell
to
them
you
about the
later.
cloth maps,
Oh,
man.
okay. There's
Very
cloth
important.
maps. There's cloth maps in Pantheon.
Yeah.
And no giant chickens.
There's cloth maps in
Hopefully no
Pantheon.
giant chickens, though.
No giant chickens.
Cloth maps.
And no giant chickens.
hmm
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. We'll see you. Bye.
Chickens?
I was like, what's Steel calling me right now? Steelheart
That's
from the EQ and every other podcast that we do.
I'll be next. It's okay.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's call me.
But, even though I never played it, I do appreciate this next statement very much. That we don't want you to have a quest journal that's filled with quests and that says, here, go here, and here, and here. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I get tired of going on the quest treadmill.
Well, I think both since we both played EQ1, right? Liet, like that. The quest in EverQuest 1 was, even though it was called EverQuest, there wasn't many quests in EverQuest.
Well, I didn't get very high in it. You have to remember too. But yeah, you had to sit there and write yourself notes and like have a notebook.
Yeah.
And say a prayer that if you had no idea what you were doing, you could either find it on the interwebs or ask your friend.
Yeah.
And
for like your epic weapon quest, you literally had like one notebook just for that, like to know exactly what you need to do and stuff. But like, for example, like Kinos, if you started in Kinos, one of the only quests I remember was you can go to the barracks, I think it was in Kinos, and to one of the guards you can turn in Null Teeth to get experience, and that was a quest, but they didn't have any quest marker over their header and something. It was just something you found out by talking to them if you just randomly, but it's like out of the 100 NPCs around in this world, you happen to talk to this one person and realize you can turn in Null Teeth to them. And so that was what you did through all those levels in Kinos Hills and going to Blackburrow and stuff. You collected Null Teeth and you're like, oh, I could turn a bunch of these in and get that much XP.
Yeah, see, that's when you guys would be like, oh, what happened to Waffle? Oh, he's punched his screen because he couldn't figure out a quest.
Yes.
So he's got to wait to get some more money to
you have to remember, this is before we had quest markers over our head and stuff. And so something like that was like so cool. Like, oh, I didn't realize you could do this. But it wasn't about like, it was about going out into Blackburrow, right? Or going out into Kinos Hills and you adventure and you get with people and you go deep into a dungeon and you experience it, rather than being like, oh, I need to go over here, kill 10 these. Okay, I need to go over here, do this. Oh, I need to go over here and jump in this. It's a totally different style of gameplay, which modern MMOs have drawn us away from. We're so used to just being strung along
and handed everything.
Yeah, and not creating our own adventure, right? Like the old D&D stuff. Like we created our own adventures. Like what we did was what made it fun, not what a quest told us to do was what made it fun.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to find a game like that. I know there are games like that now, but I'm just not in.
Yeah. Well, they're older games.
It would be wonderful to find a new game like Pantheon
that
they're working on. You know, to find a game that actually makes you have to be more involved in your gameplay to get through it, to actually group up with people, go adventuring, go find a hole and sit in it for a few hours and walk around because it's fun. You know, I can't stand generic questing. Go here, kill 35 of these, turn it in, then go talk to her.
Yeah,
drives me nuts. That's why I can't level through a lot of games because of it. Because it drives me crazy.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to experience this. Like, sorry to bring up another game here that just came out, but like Landmark, there's no quest, nothing telling you what to do or whatever, but there's a bunch of people in it, and everyone's having fun, and everyone's talking and stuff. And it's because you're just playing the game and having fun with what the game offers you, not because it tells you to string along here. And so it offers more opportunity to get to know people rather than just being like, oh, I can go do this by myself because I have a quest. And I think that's what we're all looking for, right?
Absolutely.
We miss it.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So on to starting zones. It says, due to the way the lore currently works in Pantheon, is that there will not be multiple starting zones.
I'm iffy on this one because I'm an alcoholic. Sorry. So I don't want to play through the same exact content over and over again. However, if it's done correctly, and they have the smart AI like these other newer games have, it could be a little bit different. And you're not, I don't know. I don't like having to do things over and over and over on repeat mode.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll side with Nightangel on this because I'll make 45,000 characters because I want to experience all the zones and different storylines.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the same thing 14 times. My monitor will suffer.
Well, unlike you two, I couldn't care less because it will be extremely rare for me to even have one alt just to hold crap. So, whatever character I end up with is what I end up with, and that's it. And I really hope her hair is cute because otherwise it'll make me crazy. But you know, I'm okay with one starting zone. I just am curious as to how that's going to work with elves who are little goody two shoes alongside the ogres,
I know the ogre,
who's
like,
pretty dumb, and
and
the
some
dwarves,
undead people.
yeah, and the revenants.
Yeah.
How's that going to work out?
don't know.
And I'm sure it's one of those, you are reborn and must choose your pantheon and your own destiny and blah, 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 and you have been blessed by the gods, yay! We've seen that a few times. But, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm good.
But haven't we
My
seen
one character will be
all of
happy.
this before? And that's kind of just what we're hoping for, is like a newer version of what we've seen. But the only reason this disappoints me a little is because, like, the older games, they all had multiple starting zones, right? You started in Kino, started in Freeport or Kelathan, or all these different areas, and that's what made it kind of immersive, right? It wasn't because everyone was all together, but you could go start in your zone, you felt like an elf because you started where the elves started, or you felt like a human because you're with all the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if it goes back to the old D&D style, though, where do you always start your campaign? In a tavern? In a main city? Your multiple races?
At the fireplace.
Yeah, so you're you know, I guess if they're going back to that culture, then I guess that works.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see how it works out in 3 years.
As long as I don't start off in the bathroom of a bar somewhere, I think it should be okay. I'd hate for that to be the start of my story.
That's the start of your story.
Well, Waffle started here in the bathroom.
Can revenants get sick?
Yeah.
they're undead.
Well, maybe
Never
that's
know.
how you died, man. You imbibed too much. I mean, that might be a great storyline for you.
I think that would be the perfect storyline. I know a few people that would agree with me, but
Yeah. So
We found you in the third urinal from the right. Yeah.
So the focus is going to be on the pantheons and how they and the cultures interact with each other. So it's going to, because when we have our class discussions or the race discussions and stuff, we see a lot of lore about the different pantheons or the different gods and how this race chose this one or this race chose that one, or it's like they betrayed this pantheon for this pantheon, and it seems like they're going to really try to put the lore as really part of the story and the gameplay. Like, it's going to affect how we view the world. Do you think this will work?
Yeah. Again, it's like I said, you know, in the old school D&D, you start your games out in the same general area. So if you're focused on your pantheon and you know, they didn't say there was going to be one starter zone. At least he said there was going to be a few cities. So yeah, based on which pantheon you start, I guess that's going to be determining, instead of race determining where you start.
Yeah. And Lumavox asked a question. I don't know if you guys see that. But
yeah,
it's the first time hearing about what's a good starting package.
Well, if you're looking for alpha, the $45 tier, which is sold out, would have been the best one. If you're wanting, the next one that had alpha was the $60 tier. So, but if your alpha doesn't matter, then go for the $60 or the $55, I think it is, or beta. For the beta. So.
Yeah. Those are sold out too. I just pulled it up.
Oh,
so 45's gone, 55's gone. You can get 60 plus, and that'll get you an alpha.
Yeah, but if you don't feel like testing, then there's also the lower ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to need to be an alpha or beta, or yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna have different tiers even after the Kickstarter that you can support too. So if you want to support now for the Kickstarter, $10, $15, $20.
Do the $20. At least it gives you a beta invite.
Yeah, you get beta with 20, and then if later on their website you want to join alpha or whatever, I'm sure they're going to have another area where you can donate more to get into alpha. So $20 is a good start, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. I think $20 is really fair to get into beta. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
do you get the game with that too? You get the game, right?
With that tier, it says access to the forums and gives your input. So I don't think you get the game in that tier. Now the $25 one, which is a standalone, you get 30 days included.
Okay. So
and the digital copy
of the game.
You get the game, $25. Get into beta.
No.
Nope, no beta. So you can
late
either-
beta access.
Late
it
beta.
says.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Lumavox, hopefully that
it's
helps.
some sort of access.
Yeah, some sort
Yeah.
of access and
You're
the
gonna
game.
get in some way. I
So about
promise.
$25 you get the game, right? And 30
Yeah.
days. So you
Yep.
get a month of gameplay. Not a bad deal, right?
Nah, that's a really good,
Awesome.
nice, cheap option.
Yeah. So one of the reasons they say for one starting zone, or they talked about fewer cities means closer interactions, and the type of reactions you receive depends on your race. Kind of cool, because I think one of the problems with Vanguard was because of the smaller population, they had so many cities
Yeah.
in Vanguard, but not...
Felt very empty.
Yeah, it felt very empty. And so, like, when you think of even like World of Warcraft with millions of people playing, but still it's only one or two cities, right, that are full, like Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and then all the other ones are kind of just, there's a few people there, but
Like
some
Fort
of them,
Undead City.
yeah, some of them are empty, and so less cities means closer interactions, which I can agree with. Where EverQuest's main cities, Kinos and Freeport, and that seemed to be enough for EverQuest too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other
I-
thoughts on Waffle?
I think the most interesting thing in that is the type of reactions you're going to receive depends on your race. Like I
Yeah.
said, that because I'm undead, I'm going to get
They're not
stuff
go-
thrown at me.
Yeah, you're stinky.
Is that
Go
what's
away.
going to happen?
Yeah, that's what's gonna. They're gonna throw you in a bathroom, and you're gonna start off in the toilet.
Again with the bathroom.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and that's where you hoped you did not start, and so that's where you will start.
That's where I'll start and that's where I'll end apparently.
Right.
Just can't get away from it. But I think that's going to bring a great dynamic to the game. Once again, going back to the undead, maybe people throw stuff at you, and I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm a Death Knight. I might steal your soul later. It's okay.
Yeah.
So they might have reason to throw stuff at me. That's awesome. I think that should be a big thing in a lot of games. Is depending on what race you are,
That's how
there
you
should be a different reaction.
perceived,
to
yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Faction matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe
Big time.
certain people wouldn't give you a quest because you're a certain race. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it was in EQ1. You'd be like, "Oh, this is oh, look at these people over here," and then you realize they have the red names. Oh
You're
no,
like,
run
"Run
away,
away!"
run away! Get to the zone line.
Right. Train.
Yeah, train's coming. Okay, so itemization now. It says there is not going to be a bunch of upgrades between levels.
Think.
So you get to love your items.
You get to love your items.
So I hope they're very good looking.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Not having to switch every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
because
exactly,
something will
like-
drop on the ground.
Like games now, it's like every single quest, you could play for an
Your
hour
gear.
and switch out your whole entire gear set, right, as you're leveling up, because I
At
got
least
this.
3 times.
This one has +1 more health on it, so it's better than the one I have, so I might as well replace it.
Yeah.
Whereas older games, it used to be like you get this one loot, and you wear that for 20 levels, right? Because you couldn't find a pair of pants that was better than that.
I really wonder, though, how that's going to work if they're concerned about having certain sets of armor in different climates. Excuse me. So you're going to have a bunch of different items to not die in the snow. Maybe some fireproof stuff in the lava area. Maybe something completely different if they have a rainforest or whatever. So there's got to be some itemization regardless, I would think, to handle that.
Raincoat.
So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how that gets implemented.
Maybe it's in-game itemization.
Bring your raincoat to the
When-
rainforest.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Like costume style, maybe having a buff or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe.
But I like this next one. It will take time getting certain items.
Thank you.
Yes. Like
It
you-
means something
Yeah,
to
you
go
earn
and
an
dungeon
item.
delve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more instant gratification.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? Paladins. Their item Soulfire. Like, you think of epic weapons and stuff. They had names. They
Yeah.
meant something, and you earned them, and then you kept them for a long time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Well,
this.
even
Yeah.
in EQ2 they did that, and I loved it. Once you got your epic out of Vishan's Peak, I believe it was.
Yeah.
eventually they turned that into an accessory, and you still got the benefit of it. And oh my gosh, the Wardens was awesome. So yeah, it was really hard to run out of power with that thing. It was great. So
Okay. So
Sounds
some items will be unique, and you will want to keep them. Unique items.
So again,
So-
the names, you
Yeah.
know, like the item of doom,
yeah.
whatever.
What if there's only one item of doom on the server?
ooh,
Waffle
Or-
have to have
Yeah,
it.
Waffle has the item of doom.
Yes, Waffle will have it.
He found it
So
in
I
the
will
back
be the
room.
achievement
holder
and
of
title,
doom.
I want like they did with
The
Vanguard.
Waffle
With
of Doom.
it server wide, it says you are the first to get this item. I loved
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I love
that. Yeah, that was cool. That was
I will
cool
definitely have to be the Waffle of Doom.
stuff. The Waffle of Doom.
Exactly, the Waffle of Doom.
Mm,
Yeah.
yes.
Stay away. Throw what you're gonna throw at me. Don't worry about it. We all end up in a bathroom at some point.
Only if you're Waffle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And loot tables are more deliberately set versus random distribution.
yay!
I like
Good.
that.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good. So some mage can't pick up my equipment. Thank you.
No, I like that too. It definitely helps. And that, and hey, community, what's your guild gonna do? Let's help our paladin get their gear,
Yeah.
Go on that epic run. So you're not just saying, okay, let's go on this run and, we might
Let's
get
hope.
something.
Yeah, let's hope we get something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we can all agree with that. So dungeons. Going back to epic dungeons, traps on the ground.
I love that.
Yes.
Rogues, disarming traps. Yes.
Rogues. And the
Please.
ogre rogues disarming traps.
They're
I
just
think it would be really sweet. I mean, look,
they're
it's an
gonna be
ogre to
the
begin
arrow
with.
sponge.
Extra hit points. They're gonna
they just,
suck.
They don't
All they have
disarm
to do
them.
is walk on
They
it,
just go
take
walk
the
on
hit.
the traps.
Straight
Oh.
through
Pretty
it,
much.
just
I
run.
found it. for you.
Disabled.
Just
You
be like,
know?
I
The trap is a
over.
hole, and they just get stuck in the hole. Found it.
It's okay now. You can walk
It's
over me.
over.
That'd be great.
on my head.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got
But epic.
this.
Oh, I miss epic dungeons. I remember the first time going into, even in EverQuest 2, we still had epic dungeons. Was it Solisec's Eye?
Soul's Eye.
That,
Yeah.
like how long it took. Like first it
It's
started off
awesome.
as a cave, and it was like, oh, I go down this elevator, and it's like more caves, and all of a sudden you come out into this huge rainbow road.
I
area.
loved those bridges.
Rainbow Road. It was like, it was scary.
It was?
Because the path was clear, and you could see through it, and
Yeah.
there was no rails. So if you're like fighting something and you're backing up, don't back up because you might fall off.
don't go too far.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it was, but it was epic. It was like, and then even all those paths took forever to lead to somewhere else, and it's just, I miss dungeons like that. And it wasn't like you could just go leave and then come back. And this, like, no, it took time to get where you were. And
Well, he did say in our previous cast, we even mentioned this, but he did say that there will be checkpoints. So if you had to leave for whatever reason, because these dungeons are going to be epic and very long and detailed. So if you had to stop the raid, at least you could come back to a certain point.
yeah,
And that's always good.
yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Because we're busy. Let's face it. We're older gamers now, and it's hard to
Yeah, but
just sit
but-
there and
but
go
at
for a
least
6-hour
Even
run.
with that system, though, at least like you have to get to that point. But it's like these dungeons are so epic that it's not like, okay, half an hour run, okay, we killed 3 bosses, okay, dungeon's over. Like it's more about the dungeon rather than, oh, let's kill 3 bosses, get our loot. But it's more, once again, more about the experience than the
Than
let's
the
hurry up
stuff.
and finish this, than stuff.
Yep.
Then
The fight to survive.
yeah, exactly. Like now in MMOs, it's like, oh, less trash mobs and more bosses, and let's get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that wasn't what it was about, or that's not what it used to be about.
Well, I used to
You used to
love
go for an hour.
strategizing.
Go
yeah.
for an hour without finding, and then you find a name mob, and you're like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
here we are, guys.
Run.
Run, yeah, run.
That's usually
Or-
my response.
Yeah, run away.
I'm usually the one out front. Oh, I found him.
Yeah, but these dungeons used to have multiple purposes, right? It wasn't like Solisec's Eye had several different quests, reasons to go in there. Like I remember one quest you had to have high level crafters, for a raid to go, and then you go in and fight the raid while they're trying to craft these certain
In
items.
the forge.
That's
God, I
cool.
love that.
That was like
That was so cool.
so epic. Like only certain people could craft that, and you had to have the certain items. And so the guild had to work together to get these epic items for guild members and stuff like that.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a community, teamwork. That's what it's about.
You don't see that anymore, but I miss that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now
I
on
can't
to the
play a
big.
game without playing with others.
Yeah, exactly. MMO.
Yep.
RPG.
Exactly.
Okay. Death penalty.
This is the big one. This one's big.
I die too much.
I do too. This one scares me.
I hate
That
this topic.
I
It's
was
hey,
really
where'd Waffle
surprised.
go? He's dead over there.
Yeah, are
Okay.
you gonna res me?
Help!
So it talks about you can respawn, but you will do so without any gear.
Yeah, corpse rinse. This is what made me rage quit Eve Q1, okay? I got my body stuck in a group of like undead, and I could not get it back, and I had nobody around. I could not get back to my corpse. So I was like, I quit. I'm done.
Oh,
You know,
So
they did something like this. I know I'm going to go back to a very dark topic here, but in RuneScape, where you would lose your gear, and it would drive me nuts. And then I played World of Warcraft, and I was like, wait, I don't lose my stuff? So I was all excited about dying then. I'd be like, yeah, kill me. I'll be fine. It's a little res sickness. Whatever. But they're bringing it back.
well, I think it's a huge part of the immersion when you actually have a very real fear of death in a game. It makes you play better. It makes you play smarter. It gives you a consequence for being a lousy player. And I'm
Makes
cool
me
with that
run
because seriously, there are some losers out there who don't know what they're doing. And sorry, game Darwinism is cool with me.
Yeah.
And, you know, learn or lose your stuff. I'm cool. Sounds fun.
But it
Let's
forces
go.
once again, it forces you to group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times
Yes.
you'll take a risk, be like, oh, I don't know if I can fight this mob or get in there to get this quest item. You know what, I'll just run in there and get it, or I'll try to fight it or whatever. Yep, there you go. Waffle.
Yep. Dead.
But now if like your corpse gets stuck in there, you're going to just be like, hey, I need to get a friend real quick because we have to go do this. Even
Yep.
something simple as that.
I was always that guy. Oh, I could do this. No problem. And then I'm like, let's message a friend real quick.
yeah.
I need you to come find me and res me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there. Been
And
there
it
a
could
lot.
so develop a community having to call on your friends. Hey, dude, or literally call your friends. I had to do that a couple times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, back in
died
the
again.
back in the day
I
when
need
you
you
had
to get
to,
on
when you
real
had to have
quick.
your guild members' phone numbers, be like,
Right.
hey,
Uh-huh.
I need you right now. Okay, yeah. You couldn't wait for
Yeah,
them to get on
I'm
beds
logging
or
in.
TeamSpeak, yeah. Back in
Why
the
are
day
you up at
before
4 in the
TeamSpeak.
morning?
Okay. So you can also choose to stay by your corpse as a ghost for a period of time and wait for a res.
Yeah. I'll be like, help! me!"
Okay.
Just standing there. Ooh.
You're already dead. How is that going
That's
to work?
me.
I mean,
That's me. I'm gonna be in the
I'm right here
bathroom
too.
haunting people.
Did you guys hear something? There's a ghost over there standing next to this body.
The toilet.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
ghost in the
seriously.
bathroom.
There's a ghost.
I'm going to do
Somebody go
moaning
res
mortal
Waffle.
impressions.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So losing too much XP is a bad thing. Oh.
No, you imagine that.
Thank you. But going back to old school, it means you can lose your level.
Again,
Oh, no.
rage quitting.
Stop playing bad.
You
That's okay.
Nope.
Stop playing bad.
can lose your level.
Oh,
I
You
can't
know,
stop playing bad sometimes. I have those days.
this is one of those games that is gonna like force me to play one character because I'm not gonna want to have to go through this every single time.
Well, maybe your alt can like summon corpse or something. You know,
I was like, wait a minute.
somewhere
Your
more
alt?
convenient for you.
I'll be like, honey, get off
Take the bullet
get off
for
your
account.
computer for a minute. I gotta get on my Alta account.
I got to talk to myself for a minute.
Oh man.
Okay. So if you leave your corpse behind in res, you have to find and retrieve your corpse, obviously. So it's going to be there, right? But if you get a res from someone, that will give you a portion of your XP back depending on your level, or someone can teleport you to your corpse, but you will have res effects, only available for a certain period of time.
Yeah, that's kind of standard, you know. If you get a
Yeah.
res, you get a debuff or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
Res
say,
sickness.
Yeah.
teleporting back to your corpse might be real bad sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hello, body in the middle of a mob camp. Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Usually mine's stuck in front of a boss.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Right
don't
under the
teleport.
boss's butt. It's great.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you can't find your corpse? Some players may be able to locate your corpse for you using mystical abilities. You'll have to loot your corpse to get your gear back. Man,
I like this.
just
There's
rough.
Like a metal detector for a body.
Rough.
Yeah.
Well, in what was it, EverQuest 1, what did you have to do, Leah? Like, did you have to do, like, which class was it? Rogues
That
or
was
monks?
a necro.
Necros? Oh, yeah,
That could
necros.
summon your
Necros.
corpse.
They could summon your corpse. So
Mhm.
they'd
You
have
had
to
to
be
give 'em
like,
a coffin and something else. It was
Yeah.
So
really
Waffle then is our necro
Yeah.
and extraordinaire with his dread knight or dark knight. So yes.
yeah, like necros were so.
You're gonna
cool.
all be like me now. Make fun of me. Make fun of me.
So
You're
that's
all
what
gonna be undead. I don't
that's
want
what
to
I
hear it.
miss too, though, is like
I'll put
certain
you all in the
classes.
bath.
Only certain classes could have certain abilities, right? So necro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how cool was it to have a necro friend, because you can summon your corpse right back to you, and there you go. Or to have a wizard friend that can teleport you. Where,
Transports you.
yep.
Mhm.
But only they can do it. Not everybody can do this, or everybody can do that.
It makes classes mean something too, you know.
Yeah.
So you have a whole guild full of people, but if all your guild's made up of like warriors, crusaders or dread knight, but you don't have a wizard, like you're
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble. You're gonna have to make a wizard friend.
Yeah.
Or hope that all of your Dark Knights and Crusaders and stuff will at least bash your way back in so you can get your things.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have options, which is really cool.
Very good. So can't find your res, you get your body back. You have the option to talk to your god. But be warned, there will be a heavy cost. They will require some XP before they will summon your gear. Every penalty is like some XP. Or
It
you'll
seems
lose
like-
some
I'm
XP.
okay with that.
Seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
a loan shark almost. You want your stuff back? All right, I got it.
Pay me.
I'm gonna take
Love
a little
me
bit of
and
your
pay
life.
me.
Yes.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Mafia.
It's gonna cost
Yeah,
you
you want your stuff, you
kneecaps.
pay me.
Yes.
It's gonna
Right.
cost you your kneecaps and your firstborn. That's awesome.
I need you to go kill some things first.
But you know what?
I got to
though?
hit on this guy.
If there's nobody else around, you're at 4 a.m. I think I might take this option. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on your situation, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you need to get your course back, you'll do whatever. Like, okay, I'm gonna lose some XP. I'd rather get it back now and then make it up in an hour of
Yeah.
of questing or dungeoneering or something, rather than waiting a whole day and not getting any XP and not playing at all because you're just waiting for your corpse and you don't have your gear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's an interesting use of the deities also, the pantheons.
Yeah,
So.
there we go again. The Pantheon's coming back. So I guess that's why it's called Pantheon.
I just wonder how many times your god will be merciful.
don't
I mean,
know.
eventually, are they going to be like,
You're
you died
cut
too much, I'm tired of you, and
You're
give me the
done.
finger?
Wait.
I mean,
Well, it's gonna cost, right? And then it's
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
cost you some XP.
Yeah.
Heavy cost. So it's, I guess the limit is how deep is your wallet and how much XP do you want to lose?
Because remember, you can lose levels too. So.
Yep.
How-
I used to
how
be level
close
20, but now I'm level 2. I died too much.
That
It's
was
gonna be me.
Waffle and I. That's
Waffle.
yeah.
Why is
We're gonna be
this? Why
stuck
is
at
this guy still in the
base
bathroom?
level.
It's like,
We're gonna be stuck at base level for a long time.
Yes, we are. It's gonna be brutal.
Night Angel's gonna die. I'm gonna res her back in the bathroom. Then I'm gonna die, and I'm end up back in the bathroom again.
yeah.
Exactly.
The never-ending cycle.
Yes.
Because I usually play with squishy. I'm either a cleric, a healer of some sort, or I'm a caster. So yeah, I die a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all the news we have for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen this evening. Thanks for joining us in the chat. And Night Angel, thank you.
Absolutely.
Liette, Waffle, thanks for your pancake insight and bathroom, the bathroom extraordinaire.
Again with the pancake.
Yeah, pancakes in the bathroom.
Waffles will be
Yes,
the-
Waffle. That's what Waffle is known
Okay.
I
as.
will be the Waffle of Doom.
Yes, the Waffle of Doom.
Maybe you should just shorten that Doom Waffle.
Doom
Have Doom
Waffle.
Cat.
Doom,
Doom
That's
Waffle.
your name.
Doom Waffle.
Doom
Yeah, Doom Waffle.
Doom
Yes.
Waffle.
Yes.
I think
I
that's
like
pretty sweet.
It'll go into consideration. I'll have to talk to the people.
Very
I
good.
don't really. It's the people up here. So strong consideration for Doom
How
Waffle.
many are there?
A lot.
Oh my. Lions and tigers and bears. Hmm.
Okay.
Good luck with all those.
Yeah, right.
Well, thanks for
It's always
tuning
a
in,
fun time.
everybody. Make sure to check out any of our past casts about Pantheon and about the classes, the races, or just our newscast about Pantheon Rise of the Fallen on our YouTube channel, Grievance Gaming. You can also follow us on Twitter at Grievance Gaming, at Dashivah, or at Nightangel 007. Waffle, do you have a Twitter?
Yeah, I do. You just tell me the name and
Are
what
you
it
are you
is.
like okay? Look for Waffle. We'll
Look
get
for
you that
Waffle.
someday.
Nightangel can find me.
He'll use
Yes, I got
he'll
you.
use his Twitter. And Liet has a Twitter too.
Mm-hmm. Liet_G3.
Liet_G3.
Everybody's just so easy.
I use it occasionally.
So make sure to check out our cast all this week live on Twitch, and then we'll be posting them on YouTube. We have our Wildstar and EverQuest cast on Thursdays. We have
Summoner's
our
report tomorrow.
Summoner's Report tomorrow about League of Legends, and a lot of other things.
We're a busy group, so
Yes,
pay attention.
So make sure to follow us here on our Twitch
That's
channel,
why there's
and
gonna be
also
some-
subscribe to us on our YouTube page. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and you have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye. I'm gonna be awake.